Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome into Philly AM Sports with Al and Mike. It's a special Sunday morning, Mike, because I think prayers will be a little louder today. Dinners will be ordered out tonight because at 4:30 this afternoon, the Eagles showdown in South Philly against the 49ers, which we've been talking about all week. Pretty much talking about since before the Commanders game. And some NFL playoff drama is already upon us. So, Mike, good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, buddy. Good morning. Yeah, those games yesterday were wild.
Yeah, they were wild, and to be honest with you, somewhat just frustrating.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I mean, you could be looking at a scenario where the Packers could be on their way to play the Seahawks, and you would have Carolina coming here yesterday instead.
No. It would be the other way. Oh, yeah, no, Carolina would be here. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina
Yeah.
would have been here. You know, and all they would have to do was beat the 49ers today to host another playoff game. But the Packers somehow, they must have got the Eagles script because that looks like they were a team that didn't score enough points, and when it came time to play defense, man, holy cow, did 25 points in the fourth quarter. I mean,
Well, I mean,
got,
it's not even just that. I mean, you're not wrong. Like a lot of the quarrels that people had. And good morning, Adam. By the way,
morning, Adam.
Good to talk to you. But all the comments like playing two full halves of a game that the Eagles have been kind of lambasting, not wrongfully at times, usually pretty on spot, sometimes maybe a little overreaction at certain times, but most of the time it's pretty on point, was that Green Bay and Bears game. Green Bay was up, 21-21 at the half, and then 21-6
going into the fourth quarter.
Like, it's just like, and that, so they were playing good defense, keeping 6 points for the first three. If anybody came to you like a magical fairy or time traveling person came to you and said, "Hey, Mike Lauro, before you put some shillings down on this game, I'm just going to tell you at the end of the third quarter, it's going to be 21-6 Green Bay. So take with that what you wish." You know what I mean? And you probably would be losing some money right now. You would have thought this was a complete and utter blowout. And because people were thinking that the Green Bay could win, and they could have. I was actually like, I don't think so. I think the Bears win this. And it wasn't the way it was supposed to happen in my head. Like, I thought it was going to be, I just thought the injuries that they've compounded was going to bother them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I put a post up on Facebook, said, "Oh man, the Bears must be in hibernation because, the Pack are up 21-3," and like I literally had to go back in and go, okay, well, the Bears are up out of hibernation. It looked like the Pack didn't come out of the locker room. I mean, you want to talk about a tale of two halves, and that was last night's game, yesterday afternoon's game at 4:30 between the Rams and the Panthers. You want to talk about feeling sick to your stomach there? That I feel for that kid that was covering Parkinson because Stafford just put a great ball on them, and that was it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like I said, it's frustrating. It's what we see. And maybe, just maybe, it's going to make Eagles fans a little nervous because of that's kind of been the story for the Eagles a lot. Like, the Bills game could have ended. It was one play away from going a completely different route. And now, a little different. I mean, that was the longest Hail Mary play I've ever seen at the end of that Green Bay Bears game. Like, he had about 3.5 minutes to throw the ball. Like, if he had 2 minutes left on the clock, there would have been none left at the end of that play.
Yeah.
Adam wants to know if we win, who will we play next? The Bears are the ones as we're talking about. The only routes we really had, Adam, at this point is if the way last night played out is to win and go play the Bears. Well, that's why people were hoping that Green Bay would win, because then they would have to go to Seattle. Bears are out of it, and then we would have to play either the Rams or the winner of the Panthers-Rams game, which it was another, looked like a whole complete repeat of the original matchup this year, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, it was, and it was ironically, it was almost the same score as the first matchup at the end of November.
Mhm.
At one point, it was 31-27 Carolina, but Matthew Stafford found a way to get it done, and you got to give him credit. I mean, I watched both games yesterday, and I'll tell you what, that Rams defense, they are cooked. They are cooked. I mean, they are giving up 30 points a game. Um, you know, the Rams are going to run into a Seattle team now who's had a week off. They got to go to Seattle, and I don't think with that defense that Seattle has, that's going to be very hard for them, and it's going to be their third time playing each other.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of
What's the record
familiarity.
for those two right now? I think the Rams.
I I believe it's 1-1. I think the Rams won one and Seattle won one. I think they were 1-1 against each other. So
Yeah, I mean, it's so yeah, here week 1, Rams won 21-19.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The
because they should have. They should. Yeah,
in
they
week
should have. Yeah, they should have lost that one.
yeah. Well, the other one was overtime too, so and that was 38-37. So obviously they play each other down to the wire, divisional rivals, all that fun stuff. But all right, let's get to it. People didn't chime in or didn't tune in to listen to us to talk all about last night's game. Of course, the implications of last night's game, what it leads to, but the job's got to get done first, Mike. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers in our house at 4:30. Um, has anything changed for Mike in the sense, good, bad, or indifferent, on how you feel this game will play out? And before you even answer, I'll give you this much. Right now, Lane Johnson is still listed as questionable, but I see him playing if he participated, or at least limitedly, in most of the practices. Azeez Ojulari is not playing, which take that for what it's worth. Brett Toth is out because of a concussion. And Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Marcus Epps, and Dallas Goedert all have cleared their respective issues, including the hip, hamstring, concussion, and knee, and are good to go for today. So, has anything between that and anything you've seen from the 49ers changed Mike Laro's feelings going into today's game?
No, no. Hey, Mikey, check it in.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think the Eagles. I think the Eagles win this game big. I really do. Like I I know the offense is what it is, but that San Francisco defense, their front seven is horrible. They're banged up. They just went and signed Kaiser White off the street to come in and help them out at linebacker because they're down there like they're like fifth string linebackers. So with that being said, I don't see how they're going to come in here and play against this Eagles defense. I think this Eagles defense takes control early, and I think they get to Purdy early and often, and I think they force him to make turnovers. And I think it snowballs. I think it starts out like 10-0, 10-3, something in that area, and then it's just going to snowball. I can see the Eagles putting up 24 points today. Is all their woes going to go away from this season? No, it's not. But I think we'll see a much more efficient run game out of the Eagles today just because San Francisco can't stop the run. They can't. Like Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet killed them a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was they played. Yeah, it was last week. Killed them. Just ran the ball right down their throat. And they had no answer. So you do a steady dose of Bigsby and Barkley today, you're going to get, I think, the results that you're looking for in this game. So I like the Birds big, man. I like them like 20, 27-10, something like that. I don't see the Niners putting up more than 10 points on this Eagles defense. I feel like
the defense is, and it's going to have to be the saving grace moving forward. I mean, a la the 2015 Denver Broncos type championship run. And again, I don't think the offense can't be better. I just don't expect it to be significantly better, like where they can just turn it on and put 25 plus points up on a team, especially in a playoff run. We got to accept a little bit of this team for what it's worth. Mikey P saying Carolina Panthers had that dog in them, even in the loss. I hope these Eagles play with that dog, but win. So here's the thing with Panthers. I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for a weak division and a win that they needed to happen from Atlanta, they wouldn't even be in there. Like what a weird scenario. You know, you're sitting there waiting to find out if you or the guy you just played is going to the playoffs based off a whole other game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was two division foes. So if you're Atlanta, or I'm
Yeah.
sorry, if you're Tampa Bay, you're rooting for a 3-win New Orleans team. If you're Carolina, you're rooting for a team that was basically almost close to. They all ended up with the same record. So,
which is absolutely crazy, by the way.
And poor Atlanta's probably like, we're done. Like I believe that the scenario was if they tied or lost New Orleans, that Tampa got the division. Like Tampa was probably pulling for a tie. Like, dude, I don't care. You just don't have to. You ain't got to lose, but you ain't got to win either. You know?
Yeah, and I think a tie in football is like kind of like kissing your sister. It's just like not. It's not something these guys want. Yeah, but Mike, I mean, they play with that dog because I think they're playing a little bit with house money last night too. I think that has to play a factor into it. Not to say that they don't think they belong there, but they knew they were going up against a very potent offense of the LA Rams. So I think that plays a factor. But I got to give them a lot of credit that defense was historically bad last year. That Panthers defense was historically. It wasn't just bad; it was historically bad. I think they were like averaging like 30 points a game or something given up. Like it was like some ridiculous number. And they have definitely turned it around. And Panthers, you know, if everything keeps working, I even got to give Bryce Young a little bit credit. I've never really believed in him. I'm not sitting there telling you I'm going out and buying a Bryce Young jersey or anything, but I mean, I saw some possibilities. Maybe he had to get humbled a little bit. But can I just
a hell of a throw.
Add in my parts is I know Chicago hasn't been there in a while, but man, did it not remind you of when Detroit started kind of getting a little better and they made their first playoff win? And Bears fans, you guys came down to the wire. Like you got lucky that Green Bay kind of handed you that game and you were acting like you just won the Super Bowl. And if they panned one more time to that guy who brought the little cheese grater with him, I don't know if you saw that on the broadcast, Mikey.
Yeah.
It just like kept I'm like, all right, dude, we get it. You were cool enough to bring a piece of cheese and a cheese grater with you to the game, which I don't know how you get a cheese grater in through security, by the way. That was another question that the NFL should be looking into. Chicago, by the who. I just want to throw this in there. Adam Sidner saying Eagles 27-17, so he's got a 10-point victory on them. I don't even know the nine. I'm going to go. I could see 10-point victory possibly, but I would say like 24-10, maybe.
Yeah, we're right around the same area. Al.
I just don't. Everybody expects the Eagles to start scoring on them, and this is where I'm going to push back. I understand what you're saying about the Niners. They are very banged up, especially in that linebacker core, the front there. But you could have said the same about the Bills, and they still didn't really run the ball. I mean, they did better than they've done in the past, but it really wasn't great.
The Bills were trending forward. Okay, yeah, the Bills had a bad run defense, but like the last 7 weeks, they had gotten better each game. So they were trending upward. This 49ers defense is not trending upward. And they're going to have Lenore on A.J. Brown. Other than that, who's sticking to who?
Can we not force it to A.J. Brown? Every time we force A.J. Brown, this team loses. I don't know if anybody notices. Yeah. When A.J. Brown was complaining about not getting enough, they were winning. But when A.J. Brown started getting it and it just felt like this team was forcing it to him, like I'm not saying not to throw it to him, don't get me wrong, but just forcing it to him, we don't win. So there has to be spreading the ball out. So Adam's saying things that a lot of people have been saying. I think the offense will look better today in the play will look more crisp in the playoffs. I sure as hell hope so, Adam, because if not, it's going to be
they're going home.
They're going, or they may win to get today, but the next game's going to not be as pretty. That's my point. Is they have to be. They don't have to be what we saw last year, but they just have to be better. More time of possession, more ball control, no 3 and outs. Don't let the defense get completely gassed by the end of the third quarter. And I know a lot of that stuff very cliche to say, but that is really the keys of the victory for this Eagles team, Mike Laurel. I mean, it's just the defense can do the job. The offense can score points when needed, but they just don't. Like they have like cold spots in their offense. I call them like, all right, well, the Bills they scored 13 points in the first half against a game that everybody thought was going to come down to a 6-3, ending. I'm like, okay, well, tell me that we all didn't sit there and kind of get the popcorn out and just kind of keep one eye and eat, a Christmas meal with a friend or family or something. Just thinking like this might be a cruise control kind of game, and it came down to them trying to go for it all at the end and not getting it. That's your difference there. And then the Eagles offense has to help. Doesn't have to win the game. Just has to help the defense not just completely run itself ragged. And Mikey P is going Eagles 25, Niners 19. Odd 19.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think they get 9 points, let alone 19. Again, you have to look at this matchups as far as the lines right now. Like I am so confident in our defensive line going up against their offensive line. You got Trent Williams coming back off of an injury. How good's he going to be? Okay,
he said about Lane Johnson. Listen, I'm not to cut you off, but we've been saying the same thing about. I don't worry about Lane. I don't worry about Lane. Well, Trent Williams is up there with Lane Johnson in the aspect of how good they are.
Yeah, but it's a different injury. Like I'm not talking about Trent Williams' foot. He's playing with a bad hamstring, which that can easily kind of that can easily go on you. We both play ball. You played line. I played defensive line. Yeah, that can go on you. Not to say that Lane's foot won't bother him, and he may be pulling in and out, but I just feel like the guys we have on our defensive line is going to overpower their offensive line, and also their left tackle. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was for the Bears. I was about to say their starting left tackle is going for the year for the Bears, so that kind of bodes well for next week. But this one here, no, I think the Eagles are better on the lines on both lines, and I think the Eagles are going to. I think they're going to control the ball. But here's the thing: I think don't be surprised if the Eagles get up early in this game, and I mean get up like 14 points early in this game because I feel like they're going to force Purdy into a turnover. Okay, and that's what's going to help this Eagles team. I think throughout. I think they're going to be able to get up by like 14-17 on this team. And then if you go touchdown for touchdown after that, like I said, that's kind of where you get your they just got to continue to put points on the board. Every drive they got to put points on the board. If the Eagles
even if 3 points, that's my point. It's like it doesn't have to be a touchdown every time. And it doesn't have to be quick, like methodical. Like that's what this team did last year. And again, the offense was a lot better last year. Don't get me wrong, but they were very methodical with their play. Like they had a few plays throughout the games that were like home run hits, stuff like that. But for the most part, they were doing small ball type football to win games, and that was huge. Adam's asking, could this be a Dallas Goedert game? I mean, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Dallas Goedert's been that great safety blanket for Jalen Hurts. So, listen, if I'm the Niners, I'm queuing in on him big time. But it's very hard because you still have, like you said, A.J. Brown. You have Devontae Smith out there. And even Dotson has been,
catching a few.
Better, and they look away. Control the clock. Yeah, I mean, that's 100% what it is. Control the clock. Keep the defense off the field as much as humanly possible. Like, that means if the defense is off the field, there's a less chance of a score being had by the Niners. And that means you're doing your job and getting points and winding them down. You can't miss field goals like Green Bay did yesterday. And even the Panthers had like who was their kick return, man? He tried catching it with his mask twice in a row. I don't know how he didn't get cut that in the middle of the game.
Yeah. That's Trevor Etienne, Travis Etienne's brother. Yeah, he fumbled twice yesterday. McManus, they probably made him fly. He probably had to fly home. I mean, he missed 2 field goals and an extra point. You missed 7 points yesterday.
Yeah, 7 points in a game that came down to what it was. you literally cost them the game in that. And that's listen, Green Bay cost them. There's a lot of more than just that, but that's the difference right there in that game. Again, just like I said in the Bills game, if they scored 3 measly points in that second half of that Bills game, it's a little bit of a different game and a different vibe. And they're not going for two and they're getting the ball back. It's just different. Now, as everybody knows on the It's a Rap Sports Network, there's a great show called Props, Locks, and Parlays with Mike Laro. Mike, this is your wheelhouse, so I'm going to let you handle the question. I'll give the question. You're going to give me the answer here. The line has continually, slowly, but inched its way up all the way towards 6. With the total points over or under 44.5. Is Vegas telling us something? Number one, and number two, I'm taking the under. Am I crazy in this case?
No, you wouldn't be crazy. See, I don't know. The over and under with me hasn't been. I'm not crazy about the total points. I think if the total was a little lower, I would be probably taking it over. But I think it's going to be right around where we are. Could go higher, could go lower, but like definitely within that area. But the fact that the Eagles started out as a 3-point home dog or home favorite, and it's now moved to 6, that's telling us something. That's telling us that most of the monies came in on the Eagles. That's why they raised it up, and I think a lot of people think that the Eagles are going to win this game. Although, it was brought to my attention through via TikTok this week that if you went on, I think it was Wednesday, and you typed in, "Hey, who's going to win?" If you asked AI who was going to win the game between the Eagles and the Niners, they gave a score of 28-23 49ers and said that it happened. So I'm going to take a buck, and I'm actually going to play 28-23 Niners just to see what happens today. See if it comes to fruition.
That is right. That everybody and their mothers can start using AI. I mean, I'm sure everybody does that. Because you can ask AI, like, if this game is played 100 times, what is the average? Who wins the most, and what's the average over under on that? Or and it'll tell you. It'll simulate. People used to do that with Madden football. They would simulate the games with all the players that would be playing, and they do 100 simulations and find out kind of what they use it for betting. I'm sure it never worked because people would be rich doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's. I know a lot of the points is based on who's betting and where the betting's going towards. But is it just that, or do you feel like Vegas is like, all right, we're pretty sure this is an Eagles victory?
Yeah, and usually you follow the money. If people would have been, if Vegas thought that the 49ers were going to win this game, the point total would have stayed around 3.
Yeah.
With them getting at least 3 points if they thought this game was going to be close. I mean, right now you're almost up to a touchdown. And if you look at all the games this weekend were a 3-point game. With the exception, I'm sorry, I got it right here.
The Rams were a 10-point game.
Yes, and I actually took Carolina with the 10. Believe it or
I would
not.
have taken Carolina too, and I said that like to somebody. I'm like, I still think the Rams win, but 10 points in a playoff game. I said to somebody, I said, how many like really blowout games have we seen that weren't the Eagles? To be honest with you, I mean, there hasn't been too many playoff games over the last 4 or 5 years that there hasn't been blowout games except for the Eagles, Giants, San Fran, all our NFC Championship games we've been in. I went back and looked at it. There really wasn't a huge blowout games.
Look, this is my notes from Tuesday night from when we did props, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Carolina plus 10.5. So I jumped all over that. I had Green Bay -1. Paul took Chicago with the money line, and he also took the Rams. So now, mind you, right? Jacksonville's a 1-point underdog. The Eagles on Tuesday night were -4.5. So you think from Tuesday night down went up another 1.5. That's odd. Tonight's game, New England and the Chargers. New England is minus. I had took New England -3.5, and then I took Pitt tomorrow night with 3 against Houston. Like so far, like believe it or not, Al, going into last night's game, I was 3-0. I nailed both of my college picks. I took Miami and Indiana, both -3.5 in their respective games. Miami held on and won by 4, so I got lucky there. I won by a half a point in that one. Um, Indiana just smoked Oregon, and I told Paul that was going to happen. If you go back and watch the show, I said Oregon. I said they went to Eugene and beat them. I was like, so. And then yesterday,
that was just a complete just woodshed type game.
yes. And here's the thing, man. Like, these games today, like I said, I took New England tonight. I think with them being at home, but I took Jacksonville. I think I'm riding Jacksonville all the way to the AFC. I think they win the AFC this year. I think they're going to get in.
I'll hold off on that because you're kind of starting to answer the question that I haven't put forth here. Who do you think wins, Bills or Jags, and Patriots or Chargers? I mean, listen, nobody's a bigger choke artist in my eyes in the playoffs than Justin Herbert. So, but Josh Allen is also he has the clearest path he's ever had to a Super Bowl opportunity, but yet he's got two really good teams who stand in front of him. I think that really would give them fits in both New England, which I know they had that big game where they came back on them, but I don't think that happens twice, as well as Denver. But Denver, the one thing about Denver, I want to remind you, like for everything we've complained about the Eagles,
Denver's the same team.
Same team, and they've done it actually almost more. I mean, they're scoring 10 points. They're just not letting up more than 6 points. Like those are the kind of games that you're getting. Like if you look at the box score and didn't watch any of the games, you'll be like, man, we're the most boringest team in the NFL right now. Is the Denver Broncos the way things play out. So like it's just so funny how the grass is greener on the other side. Because if I said, would you rather be a Denver Bronco in the Denver Broncos shoes right now? Yeah, of course you want that number 1 seed, but they're the same team. They're the same team, just probably a little bit of a better defense at this point. I know since the last 9 games that the Eagles have had the overall best defense, but it's a damn good defense right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, and Jacksonville actually went to Denver and beat them.
Yeah. So it's all possible, but let's look at this. Let's look at the rest of the games this week. Let's kind of a little bit break it down. We don't go too crazy. Number 6 Bills or number 3 Jacksonville. The Bills are they favored in this?
Yes, by a point.
By a point.
Well, they were. I don't know if they still are. Hold on, let me check real quick. I can go right now. I'll go on my Bet 365. It'll let me know.
Okay.
Right now the Bills are and actually the Bills are now underdogs.
The Bills are -1.5. I just saw that.
Bills, yeah. So you're talking about a 2-point swing now because I have Jacksonville on Tuesday night. Jacksonville was +1. So not only did they go back a full point, they became -1.5 now. So I think I got me a steal on that one. So yeah, I think Jacksonville's I think Jacksonville's a better team. I think they're just going to beat them. I do. I'm not sold on the Bills. If you stop Allen from running around and you stop James Cook, you stop the Bills.
This is what the Eagles did. They just didn't score enough. I mean, the Eagles decided, like I said, scored 3 measly points and 6 points in the second half. Two field goals could have been a completely different game. Mikey Peace jumping in here again. The Bills better make the Super Bowl this year as the Chiefs are not in the playoffs, and there should be no excuses for the Bills. If the Bills do not make the Super Bowl, the wrath of Mike on the Bills fans is going to be unrelenting. And here's the thing is, like, he's right. It's all we've heard about is he's had to play against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Yeah, we did it twice in the Super Bowl, might I add. But is it time, if something happens and the Bills say they lose today, is there a coaching change in Buffalo?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
And I'm sorry to cut you off here, but I am tired. And I like Josh Allen. Let me just people think I get a little hate on Josh Allen. I really don't. I would love to. If Josh Allen, if I'm Matty B always asked me if you restart, if they clean the slate and it was like a NFL draft, and who would you pick if you had the number 1 overall pick? Josh Allen would be up there as one of my biggest possibilities of taking. But at the same time, that win factor, I don't know if he has it yet. He's had every opportunity to try to have it, to get over the hump. I don't care how good. My problem is they talk about him in the breath as he's already a Hall of Famer. How many times do they call him a future Hall of Famer, Josh Allen? And I'm like, it's a lot to say on something. Again, he's got flashy stats during the regular season and even at times during the postseason, but he just can't beat the really good teams. Is that Hall of Famer status to you, Mike Lauro?
I said it 2 weeks ago. Remember when I said it? The coffin opened because I said he's this generation's. He is this generation Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have all the regular season stats in the world. Can't get it done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason Marino even got to a Super Bowl was because his defense in Miami, his rookie year or second year, whenever he did go, he lost to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people, oh yeah, he'll be back. He never sniffed the Super Bowl again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
and look at
no
Dan Marino. Right. And Dan Marino's had a Hall of Fame career. Great quarterback from September.
I don't believe Dan Marino to be a Hall of Famer. I think Dan Marino is a big name, a big personality, but just because the stats, like, I'm sorry, I always said, like, with Hall of Fames, there should be a point system, a weight system, like, where certain things hold more weight than others, and Super Bowl victories should be up there. Like,
yeah.
and I would think that would tip the scales for guys like him.
Yeah, and like I said, he's this generation's version of Dan Marino. That until he gets to a Super Bowl, till he gets the one, to me, that's all he is. I mean, for me, he's got to win one. Like our quarterback's been to two and has won one, and he gets shit on throughout the whole country, and even on our own network, he does. I never said Jalen Hurts is a Hall of Famer. Okay, never claimed to be, but that dude's got the it factor when it comes to playing big games.
He gets back to another Super Bowl. I mean, listen, he has, in my eyes, more opportunity to be a Hall of Famer than Josh Allen should at this point in his career. I mean, Josh Allen's older than him, and he's never been past the Chiefs. We've beaten the Chiefs in the Super Bowl handedly. Now, I know you can make the argument that there people are saying the defense did that and all that, yada, yada, yada. He's done it. He's been there. He's outplayed
Mahomes twice. And I'll tell you what, since they lost to Mahomes in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs haven't beaten the Eagles since.
And the Chiefs kind of got a wake up call. I don't even want to get into next season, but it might take a season or two for them to get back to form. Yeah, Adam, obviously, Adam, this is a really can't have Hurts not complete a pass in the second half. Absolutely. Because even if they win that game somehow with that kind of stat, it's going to be hell. It's just going to be hell from our standpoint. But it's going to be hell.
I'll tell you what, you were talking about that if McDermott doesn't win this game today, does he get fired? I think he does, but you know what the ironic thing is? I think if he loses that job up in Buffalo, I think Harbaugh is his replacement. I think they get John Harbaugh. They go out and get him. And I will tell you this now, Harbaugh, that's why I don't think he's real quick. He's meeting with teams this week, but he's waiting to see what happens because I think, honestly, if McDermott gets fired, then Harbaugh's going to go up there and interview for that Bills head coaching job. And now that would be a little scary, that he would go up there. But I can see him replacing McDermott. You replace him with one former Eagles assistant to another.
Yeah. No, listen, you're John Harbaugh. You have the clout. Yeah. Why rush? Let's see how everything plays out, wouldn't you? I mean, it makes sense.
Damn, the Giants are doing everything in their power to throw the keys to the castle to him there, and he's just like.
But he's smart. He's smart enough to know that there's a lot more problems than. I mean, they have a little something to work with if Jackson Dart can continue to grow. But other than that, like, what do the Giants have? Outside of some low picks coming up, what do they have? Like, you're starting over. If you're John Harbaugh, you got a 3-year plan in for. Like, I'm looking like you can't get on me or worry about firing me for 5 years. Like, it's got to be guaranteed that you're firing me outside of cause for 5 years because we need to scrap and we need a better GM. Mikey P saying the Bills are 0-4 in the playoffs against the Chiefs. Yeah, no, I know, and that's my point. Is like, everybody talks about even on major broadcasts, future Hall of Famer Why? Because they said he was. I see more design run plays for Hurts today. I sure hope so. Good morning, Mickey. What's going on, my friend? Josh Allen, stats wise, and won the regular season MVP and is on a Hall of Fame candidate more than Jalen. And I hate saying that because again, is not the regular season MVP the biggest load of crap? Like
Yeah,
you're the one who played. Like here's the funny part. Like let's just run this back. And I'm not attacking Michael Kaepernick on this. This is just like it's just kind of funny about the people who have their agendas or whatever you want to say, their feelings on Jalen Hurts or whatever. If Jalen Hurts won the MVP this year, right, or any year, what would anybody say? Oh, well, you just won the regular season. That's what you won. You won. You were the best quarterback in the regular season. It doesn't count unless it's in the playoffs. But when it comes to somebody else like Josh Allen, that's all that's needed to call him a Hall of Famer. Now, am I sitting there, again, like Mike said, am I sitting there saying Jalen Hurts is a Hall of Famer? No. But should he be in the same breath as a Hall of Famer in this case? Yes. You win Super Bowls, you go to two, you're what, 24, 25 years old at this point, and you still have a good five, like could probably go 7, 8 to 10 years left to do the same. Why not? Why can't we have this conversation? Not saying he's there yet, but he has, I think, a much larger opportunity to get there. And even if Josh Allen and the Bills win the Super Bowl this year, after that, it could be nothing. Could be crickets for him. Like, is that all he needs? Like, it's just funny how it plays out differently from one guy to the next.
it does. It does.
Nobody wants the Raiders job. No, nobody wants. I mean, even if they called me up right now, like I wouldn't take it. But yeah, we heard it. You guys heard it. You know that
Yeah. Oh man.
he has arisen from his coffin to suck the fun out of today's episode. If the Eagles were to lose today, I would fire Sirianni and hire Harbaugh. I mean, if that's what you're going to be hearing for if they lose today.
I think he's right. I actually agree with Mike. I really do because he's not going to throw. I would be surprised if he throws Patullo under the bus. I just don't know because he's
careful. I'd be careful of him, Nick Sirianni, because you don't want to get Dougie P. That's how Sirianni got his job, because Doug Peterson was unwilling to go. No, I'm sticking by my guys. Can't do it. Well, you're gonna get fired. Well, okay.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, 2026 Football Hall of Fame, yeah, baby.
Oh man.
What was it? He's in the Hall of Fame for something out, like for his 7 touchdown game against the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
His shoes or cleats or whatever in that one. And I'm going to sit here and tell you Nick Foles shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Just because, I mean, he won a Super Bowl, but other than that, he hasn't done much with it. Like, he's just one of those guys where the Eagles and Nick Foles just fit together just perfectly. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, he got a big-ass payday from Jacksonville.
Yeah. Oh, that's not hard to do. So let's look at the other games today. So we talked Bills, Jacksonville. You're saying you're calling the Jags a winner today, right?
Yeah, I think they eliminate Buffalo. I really do. I think they're the better team.
I think it's a very plausible situation in this case. But I do think the Bills will squeak this out. I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence just yet.
I don't get, dude. Jacksonville's defense is nasty.
Sure.
Like you want like I put their defense up there with Seattle's and Houston's. Like they just don't get the recognition. But yeah, they can get after people.
Well, and, I mean, this is the year of the defense. I mean, that's where the parity comes from. So much defense. So let's look at the LA Chargers going to New England. Just had here it is. So it's 3.5 points right now. Chargers are getting are plus 3.5 with an over under 45.5. What is the man on prop stocks and parlays looking at this one?
I don't like the points. I think New England's going to win straight up. I would do a money line. Like I took them early in the week. I took them minus 3.5. I took New England. New England just has this really, really good 1-2 combination with Trayvon Henderson and Ramad Stevenson running the football right now. And Drake May doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He really doesn't. He's got Diggs as a one wide receiver, Booty as another, but he's also got Hunter Henry as a tight end. And Hunter Henry, this could be a game, where that's just on New England side. If you look at LA side, they are dealing with a very nasty their offensive line. Their offensive line is bad. So I think it's going to be hard for guys like Hampton and Cadell or Vidal to run the ball. And you're going to have Justin Herbert back there trying to sling. So I would lay the 3.5 with New England.
Yeah.
And
No, I think they're fraudulent, to be honest with you. Chargers have a good defense, but other than that, nothing else. I mean, let's be honest. That horrible game we've talked about, and I brought this up numerous times. I think I even brought it up on my Friday show, with 5 turnovers. You still had to go to OT and take out the Eagles.
Then
you have 5 turnovers in the game. You should have belt the ass on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sean's coming in here. Lane Johnson is reportedly dealing with pain and swelling in his injured foot and is set to a game time decision. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, Sean.
Hold on, but I thought he was ready to go 2 weeks ago. Like, they said 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Oh, well, if he could play, he could play. I think it's a little gamesmanship because Maybe. 2 weeks ago he was ready to go against the Commanders if need be, or not the Commanders. Who did Buffalo? If this was a playoff game, he would have been playing. So now the playoff game's here, and now all of a sudden he's got more. Come on,
Mickey said, give the Raiders job to Matty B, and I'm like, here's the problem: the quarterback misses one throw, he's going to fire him. Noom's checking in. I wanted to go to Chicago. This works out perfectly. LA to take out Seattle.
Yeah, that's going to be another great one. If you watch their last game, they went to overtime and Seattle came back and won the game. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. I like all these matchups, man. And if it falls the way it's going to fall, you're going to have a really good divisional round. You're going to have really, really good, championship games. So why not?
Now, listen, I understand you wanted to go to Chicago, but tell me, wouldn't be better off if things played out the way they could have, and you had a team coming here. But I guess he'd rather play Chicago than the Rams in his eyes. So, listen, I think Chicago has the ability to be a better team. I don't think this is their year, and I think they got a little playoff experience. So we'll see.
Just kind of look at the way that they were celebrating last night. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Minnesota beat the Saints to come here the week before we played them here. And just the way that they celebrate, like they're going to celebrate this win because it's against a division rival. Okay, they sent the Packers home, which, by the way, I don't know how Matt LaFleur has a job today. I really don't. He hasn't gotten out of the first round in the last 3 years. So, yeah. I mean,
And Jordan Love is the man still. That's another guy who I feel has gotten this anointment of this great quarterback. They don't call him a Hall of Famer yet. I'll give him that much. But this great quarterback that he's just the next best thing. Mikey P. Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl and doesn't mean he's a Hall of Famer, and he was 28 years old when he won. I don't care about the age or anything like that. I get what you're saying. Trent Dilfer, it's just like I said about Nick Foles. I don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame as a Hall of Famer quarterback. No, just because he won a Super Bowl. I believe they should be weighted, but I believe the Super Bowl should outweigh the rest of their stats. But Josh Allen's got a ton of stats. Don't get me wrong, which adds a lot of weight to him. So, but my point is to talk about him as a Hall of Famer now. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent in my eyes.
Yeah.
Joey Sullivan, give me a go Birds.
What's up, Joey?
Yesterday was frustrating. You realize we were close to having Green Bay at Seattle and Carolina. It would have been Carolina here next week. That would have been ideal. 100%, dude. 100%. But
Excuse me. Oh, had a sneeze there.
wearing a different shoe, that's discomfort's almost expected for a late. Yeah, I mean, I expect him to be in some sort of discomfort with the type of injury he has. Listen, most people would have been down for the season for his injury. Lane's a different cat. Um, so this is where they probably try to shoot him up, numb him up, let him play, see how he plays. It's just gonna be really hard. Hopefully nobody steps on his foot or anything. That just makes things worse. But yeah, I mean, I expect him to be in discomfort. I expect him to play outside. If he don't play, that probably doesn't bode well for late if we win this game and later into the playoffs. Just saying. I felt like Patullo was calling plays for Green Bay yesterday. Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, yeah.
It was half. I think Patullo said, "Hold on, I can't screw this up, right, guys? Hold on."
Yeah. I mean, dude, if you watch that, not the final drive, but the drive before that, like when they scored the touchdown, he was literally running the ball twice into the line of scrimmage, throwing the ball on third down. That's what they were doing, and I just felt like Green Bay let that game get away from them, man, and that's just
they went into cruise control. They went into prevent defense. They went into we don't care. We'll throw the ball. We're just going to gash them to death. We're gonna embarrass them, and they got embarrassed. I mean, that's what happened. They were up 21 or was it 21-6 at that point? Yeah, 21-6, and they were throwing the ball. They were listen. They got a few first downs out of the deal, but they of course missed the field goal as we talked about. But they took no time off the clock. They at one point were up, and it was like 3.5 minutes left in the game, and they got down to 3 minutes and 18 seconds before they had to punt the ball away. It's just a recipe for disaster.
yeah.
Eli Manning got Super Bowls, but a lot of interceptions. Does he make the Hall of Fame? I think he makes the Hall of Fame because he's Eli Manning. I mean, I think he ended with a 500 career, right? Win-loss?
Something like that. Yeah, but
even 500.
Yeah. But
do you believe Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I do. And I'm an Eagles fan, but yeah, he was a good quarterback,
with that
man.
Stupid face.
It'll be immortalized in Canton. You gotta admit, dude, yeah, the Manning brothers are funny as hell.
No, I don't find this.
I find them highly entertaining. I mean, so it says, how bad has the Eagles OC Kevin Patullo been? This bad? Because they didn't get no first team All Pros.
Yeah.
Since
it's the first time
2020.
since 2020.
All right, so it's been what, 5 years? It's 5 years. That'll happen. I don't do all those the All Pros and first team to me that's all that's BS. You know what I mean?
Mike Lauro is calling BS. I'm going to check something here. I'm going to put this up.
Oh
man, I had it here. It was, of course, here we go. I found it. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to just tell you. This is. I want you to tell me who you think made this. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh.
What happened to the $200 million offense? The Church of Jalen Hurts. No All Pros. Run the ball. Kevin Patullo, OC sacrifice. Blame the coordinator.
Matty B needs to stay away from AI. He's very dangerous.
I'm sorry I showed him any of this, to be honest with you now. They went conservative and relied on the D. Where have we seen this before? Yeah, I mean, Nooms, I know you were a little later to the show. Exactly. When we were talking about that at the beginning of the show, I'm like, they literally, we said they read the wrong script. The script writers gave them the wrong one.
Yeah, they grabbed the wrong script. They grabbed the Eagle script for yesterday.
Here come the Sixers,
Michael. You know what? I got to give a shout out. Sixers are playing very well, man. I am very impressed with VJ Edgecombe. Yeah, VJ Edgecombe. I'm very he's showing the Sixers that they made the right choice by taking him and not taking Ace Bailey. So kudos to that. Him and Maxey are just balling. Yeah. And even the part-time player Joel's even doing decent.
Well, that's the point. Is like I guess part of it is that the Sixers and Embiid have kind of accepted the role for what he's worth. Well, we're not going to get any money back for him. We got to deal with him. We'll play him where we can. And they're relying a lot more on the younger guys. PG is also kind of accepted his role too,
Yeah,
because that was always the problem when you're bringing these like James Harden would have never accepted a role in that fashion, like without being the number one, number two guy.
yeah.
Um, but the Sixers are fun to watch, and they're now sit down and watch and fun team to see how they play. I mean, if they lose, I'm not sad and pissed off, and if they win, it's exciting again. Like they're putting a lot of reliance on the young team. I know we have a couple other things we have to go over, but the last game is Monday night's game, since we won't talk about it since then. This is number 5 Houston heading to number 4 Pittsburgh Steelers. Mikey, right now, hold on, I have this right here. Spread. Here we go. -3. Texans are -3 going in with a 38.5 total points over under.
Yeah, well, here's a little tidbit. Texans don't play well in very cold weather. That's number one. Number two, Pittsburgh at home on Monday night. They haven't lost in 9 years on Monday night. In 9 years, and I don't see them losing this time. They get DK Metcalf back, and I took the Pittsburgh Steelers plus the 3 points. I think they eliminate. You want to talk about a team who can't score? Be like there's teams right now. Like I'm looking, the Bills, they're up and down with scoring. The Eagles are up and down with scoring. Seattle's up and down with scoring. Houston's another one that's up and down with scoring. So I think Pittsburgh wins. I think now you want to take a something on that game, take the under in that game.
Yeah.
Whatever the under is, take it.
38.5, as you can tell, they're not expecting a high flying.
Yeah, 38 and a half. That's 20 to 18. You know.
Yeah. I'm actually going with Houston in this case. I think the Steelers are a fraudulent team. Right now, they're like the Panthers right now. They got in because their division was weak. Lamar Jackson sucks. I'm just going to say it. I'm just totally over Lamar Jackson. Never liked him. Never thought he was as good as people put him out there. The Ravens were just they couldn't. They would lose because of themselves. The Browns and the Bengals, I don't really have to say much about, and that allowed them to slip into a last-minute chance into the playoffs. Houston's playing a lot better ball. Yes, offensively, they're Jekyll and Hyde. Defensively, they're playing really well. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring reason it's on Monday night game. There's going to be a big reason, just like the Tampa Bay Eagles game was on Monday night, because people don't expect much out of this. And that's how I look at it. And I think Houston does win this. And it may not be by 3, but I think they win it. Adam saying, is Erston out of town yet? He sucks. Yeah, last night was not a good. Was it? What was the final? 7-2.
7-2. Matty P. I watched the highlights because I was watching football all day, so I saw Matty come on. I was like,
I had that on the bottom screen, the smaller TV. Yeah,
I looked. I was like, Jesus God, 7-2. Really? I said Erston must have started net. Like I didn't even watch 1 second of the Flyers game.
If Hawks win next week, Hawks, I guess. Seahawks, and the 49ers lose today, I would love to see the Eagles come to Seattle. Oh, yeah, because Mickey, for those who don't know, Mickey Delaney is a Seattle guy, and he is a Seahawks fan. So it would be the Seabirds versus the Philly Birds NFC Championship game. That would be, and it'd be a game. That would be for sure. That'd be a tough one.
Take the under in that one.
Yes, yeah. Seattle is a really good defense. It's been kind of a house of horrors for the Eagles for the most part. Really hard for them to win there. Different team, but the only thing I today will tell, or not today, next week will tell me more about Sam Darnold in the playoffs. I mean, I think that's gonna be a big thing for them.
Yeah.
These injuries were bad for the Bears. Linebacker T.J. Edwards. As we all know, T.J. Edwards is a really good player. We've dealt with him. fibula, and O-line Ozzy Tripola, Polo. I always say it wrong. Patellar,
Yeah, that's
Mr.
the
Yeah, that's their
that's their starting tackle. That that TJ Edwards injury was nasty.
yeah, it
That
was.
was, and they
And I
showed
like
it.
TJ Edwards. I was the thing. I wish he was kind of guy. I think they were just not paying linebackers at the time, and Bears offered him. I mean, he's done good for them. No lie, Harden did make Maxey better by influence. No, Harden did work with Maxey. I don't think that was the problem. I don't know if it's Harden's problem is Harden. Harden can play well. Harden has abilities, but he also is a bit of a selfish guy, and he is Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to games. He did show like that step back that Maxey has is 100% on Harden. As much as it would have been nice to have 3 home games, do we really think Green Bay could take out Seattle? Maybe, but I doubt it pretty hard. Green Bay surprised me yesterday, though. They surprised me of how they completely choked Nooms. Choked. Uh-oh. 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 Hold on. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me answer this question because everybody's going to find out why I'm saying uh-oh. It's obvious Urson is a volume goalie. He's been in trouble being a backup in this league.
Yeah, right. He's a volume goalie, all right.
Oh, here we go. Pull it up more. Oh, he snuck in. I was about to put him on the screen. He snuck in just Elseferi's excuse emporium. I saw that one, by the way. I was going to get to it. I was really going to bring that one up. Eagles game day special. Every team has its problems for the kids. It has it factor. Our $200 million offense just has to be better.
Oh, man. Whew.
Let me get Maddie B this. Is there anything wrong with anything said here?
Oh, man.
Does our $200 million offense just have to be better if our defense continues to play at the rate they're playing?
Yeah, they got to get better. Will they? Doubt it, but
that's the question. This has to be a little better. They don't have to be great. They just have to be better. Jalen Hurts does have the it factor, and every team does have its problems. I mean, we just talked about that with the other teams. So I'll take this excuse emporium Eagles game day special because it's exactly true. So thank you. You could cartoony it up all you want, Matty B. Doesn't make me less right, pal. Don't make me less right.
I gotta give it to him though. He got that up there pretty quick.
Oh yeah, well, he had a little help from a guy like I do, but uses dots in between. Freaking guy. Real quick, because we are getting to the end here. There's a little bit more news. Not Phillies news, but does probably directly affect the Phillies in some way. One of the big names have been taken out of the rotation for possibility with Alex Bregman in the Chicago Cubs with a 5-year, $175 million contract.
They can have him.
I didn't think the Phillies were going to take him. I don't think there's any opportunity for them to take him. I don't think they wanted him. I'm going to say they wouldn't want him. Let me rephrase that. I just don't think that was where they want to be. I mean, what's he, 30 years old?
32.
32. I mean, that's the last thing we need. That's why I think the Bo Bichette thing would be more reasonable. I said, do the Phillies really want to add another long-term contract on top of Bryce Harper, on top of Trey Turner, on top of Aaron Nola, on top of Kyle Schwarber now? You know, do they want to add another long-term contract? Well, he's 27 years old, so okay, 6 years, fine. You can do it with it. But I think he makes your team that much offensively better. But it's still a pipe dream. I can't see them giving him what he wants. It's really hard to believe. But if it does happen, you're going to have to trade away.
I'm still waiting to see if they get a trade partner for what's his face, Castellanos. You know, right now he's still a part of this team.
Chicago's going to regret that one.
Is there any way that Castellanos goes to spring training with the Phillies?
Yeah. I mean, we're not that far away. I mean, they'll probably cut him. I would imagine they're going to probably Do they eat him, or do they regulate him to the bench and just let him sit there and?
I would make him a platoon. Yeah, you're gonna platoon with Marsh and like I'm not letting nobody walk away, man. Like
Do you think they get a deal done with Bichette tomorrow? I'll tell you right now, and I've said this: two things that would make me feel a lot more confident about the Philadelphia Phillies 2026 season. Number one, you already did it, so you signed Kyle Schwarber to a big deal. Make him a 4-hole hitter. That would make me feel a lot more confident. Number two, Bichette. Bichette would make me feel a lot more confident. If that means they have to unload to the Mariners or something with Bohm, I'm okay. I'm over Bohm. Bohm and Nick Castellanos kind of attitude bullshit. I'm past. He's young. He's making $10 million. He's young-ish. He's making $10 million. And he has some pop in his bat. So he could be I'm not going to say he's going to fetch you anything big. But between that, you're going to have to make a decision about JT. Part of me thinks the Bichette conversation is a little bit to leverage JT. I doubt it much. But it would make me feel a little bit better going into 2026 with the Phillies.
Yeah. I think Real Muto's going to sign back here because if he had gotten a better deal out there already, he would have signed it.
Yes and no. Yes, listen. This is the thing: this is 2026 MLB. Guys wait a lot longer. I mean, back 10, 15 years ago, the team was set by now. In my opinion, I think JT, like Molina, will play until he's 40 and be productive until 39. I don't disagree with you, at least from a defensive catcher standpoint. And he's probably going to be healthier from an offensive standpoint than Molina probably was at the end. Still somewhat how do I put this? He's not a liability on the base path like Molina would be, and he can hit the ball when he needs to be. And if he's in the 7th hole or 8th hole, it's fine. But catcher wise, yeah, if the Phillies sign Bichette, could Bohm to first base, Harper to right field or left field, and Bichette to third base. I don't see Bohm or Stott being traded. I think Stott could be traded. I think Stott has some value to him, not a lot of value, but he's young. He's getting paid a couple $1 million. I have the arbitration numbers here, right? Didn't he just get avoid arbitration?
Yeah.
Let me see. He 5.2 million. So he's not making a lot, and he's really defensively he's really good. And if you feel like you can work on him from an offensive standpoint, he could be attractive. He could be an attractive piece. I mean, both of them together are only making $15 million. So it's not like you're saving a bunch of money. And Nick Castellanos is the big one. If you unloaded the three of them, that's $45 million. It makes things a little different, but you got to make up for it somehow. You got to, what are you going to do with it? If you get rid of Stite and boom, does Ada Miller come up? Is Ada Miller the guy? If the Phillies sign Bichette, could Bohm, we already got that one. Sorry. I could see it. Bichette will block Miller. You need to trade Miller now. I mean, right now for impact pitching or catching help now. Wow. I am really shocked to hear that. Hold on. That needs a really, really good creak here. Hold on. Yeah, like Matty B. I agree with you, Matt, because Ada Miller's price tag is going to be high right now. If you can move on for him, and that might be a way you fill in a gap. That if you do get Bichette, I'm not disagreeing with Matty B on this one. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with him either. If you're going to sign Bo Bichette, he's got a point. Unless you get rid of
Stott too, both of them.
Unless you get rid of Stott or Bohm. I mean, if you get rid of Bohm, you know what I mean. Then as Trey gets older, I don't know. I mean, you're right because that would block Miller. You would have to get rid of Stott too, and then you would have to bring up Miller to play second base.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
You either drop 2 years, $45 million on JT, or 5 for 70. Otherwise, take a hike.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving him $45 million for 2 years. No. Sorry. I'll give him 30. I'm not giving him. I'll pay him 15 a
All right,
year.
let me ask you this question: if he would take 15 million a year, but 3 years, would you do it? So it's 45 still, but it's over 3 years.
Only if it's a club option.
Do you think he's going to take less than he made currently? What was he making, like 20 million,
Yeah.
21 million, something like that? Do you think he'll take less, but over 3 years?
I
I
think
mean,
if
at
it's
this point, if what Noom says holds true, a third year is not a big deal, especially for $15 million for a really good catcher. And really, the big thing with JT is the pitching this year is going to be very, I want to say questionable, but there are a lot of questions around it, like the health of Zach Wheeler. Is Aaron Nola going to be anything close to what he was before? Maybe a good 2, a really good 3. I mean,
I think
Christopher Sanchez,
he's going to be a 4. You know,
could be.
I see him being a 4. I see the 2 lefties being better than he are. So
Phillies better focus on pitching, as there's 3 questions. Nola, Walker, Painter. And the only I didn't even think about Painter because we still haven't seen him yet in majors, and last year didn't leave a great taste in everybody's mouth in the minors. No. And only 2 reliable pitchers in Sanchez and Luzardo. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, maybe that's what Matty B makes it even more correct. Even if you weren't going to trade both Bryson and him, but maybe you do trade Aiden and you're able to get another decent pitcher. I mean, I know it would have probably made it harder, but who was the Itsu guy that where did he go to?
The White Sox?
No. Didn't he go to Houston or something? He went to Houston.
Oh.
The Asian pitcher that everybody was talking about, who was linked to the Phillies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Eagles 30, 49ers 2.
Yeah, they get a late safety.
Yeah, Mickey Delaney. Whatever you're drinking or whatever right now, I want in on that one, pal.
Hey, listen,
for your friends. I hope if that happens,
that's a Seahawks fan. That's a Seahawks fan right there.
Yeah, man. If that happens, then you know what? Take that, Matty B. Let's see. Mutual option. Yeah, absolutely. You guys think Ranger comes back?
No, he's going to Baltimore.
There's no way they're going to be able to afford him, especially now with the Bichette conversation. I think between the JT conversation and the Bichette conversation, just pretty much took Ranger out of the conversation. Like, I mean, really, it's what it is. Would I like to see him back? Kind of want it, but he's also an injury prone kind of guy. He's got his ups and downs. So Phils will need to rely on other teams' attrition to win it all. Well, that's a big if. They've been relying on that for a bit.
So, Al, my question to you is, what is the meal of the day? What are you doing today for the game?
That's a really good question, Mike. I just had a little bit of a gathering last night, so I think it's going to be a lot of leftovers, a lot of sandwiches, a lot of meats, pulled pork that I've already smoked and ready to roll. So it's going to be a kind of a smorgasbord of types.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a good old-fashioned chili dog.
Chili dogs.
Chili dogs.
Dude, there is nothing better than a chili dog. This is one of those things that, like, if I'm having a bad day or just kind of a gray or gloomy day, just like, you know, you're not like bad or depressed, just, you know, the energy's not into it. A chili dog would make things better.
Much better. Now, my wife's probably going to hate me because I like mine with jalapenos, and I cook the jalapenos in with the hot dog. So she ain't going to like me later.
Just tell her to open a couple windows before you guys sit down to enjoy. Real quick, we have Sean coming in here. The Bears are basically this year's Commanders. I would advise them not to sign 3 dozen wash 30 something of this offseason. Good point, Sean. I'm getting a cheesesteak and wings for the game. Good idea, Adam. Like, you can't go wrong with that. You can't. It's like good wings too, man, go a long way. But guys, right now you have about 6 hours, a little bit more than 6 hours left before game time. Mikey P with the pepperoni pizza. By the way, I'm not big into food trends like what everybody else is doing, but the hot honey pizzas,
awesome.
Pepperoni hot honey. A lot of these people are doing it because all you have to do is make a normal pepperoni pizza and you just drizzle the Mike's hot honey on it. I like hot stuff. like you do, Mike. I know you're spicy guys. We just talked about. Like I love a buffalo chicken pizza. That's one of my favorite things. But a hot honey pepperoni pizza is like a fan favorite in the whole family. My father-in-law, my sister-in-law, like every time I order, they're at the door, like, oh, hey, we got hot honey pepperoni. Let's do this.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to have the cup pepperoni too. It's got to be the cup pepperoni.
The cup,
yeah,
absolutely.
Cup pepperoni, and it's got to be me. I like mine, my pepperoni a little well done. It makes the pizza better, but yeah, you can't go wrong there with that.
There is one before we go. There's one I don't know, TikTok or Reel or whatever you want to call it that floats around. There's a pizza joint. It's nowhere near here. I would love to find out where it is. I think it's in New York or New Jersey or something, North Jersey, where they cook the cup pepperoni in a shallow pan, like a
Yeah.
and they put the pepperoni in there and they cook it and they take it and they pour the grease into like I don't know if it's like a bottle of ranch or some base.
Yeah,
like
and they mix it up.
They mix it up, and so they make a pepperoni pizza. They put those pepperonis on there, and then they put the pepperoni. Dude, I'm getting indigestion watching it, but it sounded so good.
Believe it or not, that's up in. It's not that far away from us. It's in New Brunswick. It's about 45 minutes north of us.
Oh, maybe we need to make a trip to New Brunswick.
Oh, my son's actually going to be moving up into that area.
Is he moving up this way?
Yeah. He's it's not official, but it's leaning towards that they're coming back up this way.
And, that's awesome. Great for you then.
Yeah, so it'll be cool to see. First thing I know, my son said next year I got to do Eagles Giants up at the Big Snoopy with him. I told him I'd go. So,
great show. Thank you, Adam, as always. Tabasco Scorpion is pretty hot, and I love hot stuff. Is that like a Tabasco hot sauce? Now, let me ask you a question. Is that like Nooms? Is that like the watery hot sauce, like the typical hot sauce like Tabasco has? Because like sometimes Tabasco stuff's too liquidy, and it just kind of it breaks apart when you're cooking. That's what I don't love about it. Like it needs a binder. Nothing like regular Tabasco. I do like the flavor. It's just when you cook with it, it falls apart. Godfather of Meat guy is good. Godfather of Meat, huh?
Where's he's a guy on TikTok. He goes to all these different sandwich places. Like he goes all over the place. Yeah, he's pretty good.
It was funny. We were making a joke that my wife goes, "There's more pictures of the meat that I smoke in my phone than my kids." I last week. I'll tell you the story real quick. We were my as you know, my birthday was on Sunday. Saturday, my wife goes, "I want to do this 24-hour pork you do in a crock pot." And it's really delicious, by the way. One of the simplest recipes in the world, but it's very delicious. And I walked up and there's this pork shoulder. It's like half off, $15. I threw that thing right on the smoker and tore it apart and then put it into the freezer. And I think I'm breaking it out today. And it was so delicious and tender, man. Woo! No, I'm watering. It's not watery at all. Good. Because that's my big thing with these watery hot sauces. I like something with a little keeps it bound, like especially because I like to rub it on like chicken legs and stuff on the grill or chicken thighs or something. So, all right, guys, now I'm starving.
You have a smoker, right?
Oh yes.
You got to do smoked mac and cheese.
Dude, it's my specialty. Did I not tell you that?
No, you didn't.
Oh well, dude. All right, that's it. We're gonna do from Al's basement. We're gonna do a Philly AM Sports one day, and I make two at a time. Like that's how much I make because when you buy the ingredients, you can't really buy enough to make one. So
you gotta buy enough.
I have to make two trays, and I put them both on the top of the smoker. It is a game changer. I did not think smoking was as big as a game changer as it is, but it is, and it's like you just throw it all together and you put it in a lid and let it cook for like an hour and a half with the lid on, so it gets all gooey and everything melts together. And then you just go in there and you mix it. You top it with more of the cheese and you stick it in the smoker with the top off. It just adds that extra flavor. It is a hell of a difference.
I saw a recipe I got to try. So
Al's Food Emporium, right? Yeah, that's right next to the Excuse Emporium. So actually, if you buy one, you get 50% off at the other. So
there you go.
According to Mount EB. But other than that, guys, go Birds. Any list?
Predictions? We never got predictions.
Oh, we never got our predictions. Go ahead, Mikey.
I like the Birds 27, and I think two Brock Purdy interceptions turned into 14 points for the Birds. 27, I say 27-10. I don't see San Francisco scoring more than 10 points on this defense.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I have it at 24-10. I do have it 24-10. A lot of people come out and think this Philly team's going to score 30 points. Yeah, I mean, me and Nooms are kind of all in the same realm. He's got 27-12. But yeah, I don't know why I'm going like 21 to 24 range for the Birds and less for, of course, for the Niners. I just don't see the Birds putting up that kind of offense. And if they do, you know what? Ha ha. All I gotta say. I'm keeping this ready for next week. I'm gonna keep this ready for next week because it's gonna be. Guess what? Al's excuse emporium's gonna have a special of crow, a lot of crow for somebody to eat. Put that out there. Well,
there you go.
Remember, two of us can play this digital game here. Adam's going 27-17. They move the ball between the 25s. Yeah, no, absolutely. Other than that, guys, he's Mike Laro. I'm Big Al. And we'll see you guys next time in Good Birds.
Go Birds.